Hi, my name's Daryl, and here's your Toyota news for January 7th. So in our first bit of news, Toyota is at CES this week. And so here's some great news for all of us IT nerds out there. Toyota was involved in a couple of different press releases. And the first one that I want to talk about was on the brand new, completion of phase 1 construction of the Woven City. So this is Toyota Chairman Akio Toyoda talking about the Woven City. So let's check this out just real quickly.
Well, today, I'm happy to announce that we have officially completed phase 1 of our Woven City campus.
So as you saw at the first start of the video, this was started in September of 2023, and they're now ready to move in residents in phase 1. And the idea behind this Woven City from Toyota is really to create an environment for kind of forward thinking about how society and how we will all live together in the future. So they want a place for scientists and researchers, educators, entrepreneurs, all of these folks to kind of get together and to come up with ideas for the future. And this is a place where they can play with that technology and have an environment where it can touch real people. And everybody that's going to be in this city knows that this is the purpose of it. So really interesting idea behind Toyota to come up with this. It costs a lot of money, but yeah, it's pretty cool. So one of the big reasons why I think Toyota is doing this is to forward their research and technology in regards to autonomous vehicles. And so we all know at some point this is going to be something that's going to happen with more cars on the road and more people on our planet. It's a fact of life that eventually we're going to have a lot more autonomous vehicles. And so here's an example of Toyota using these autonomous vehicles in a drift exercise. So let's check this out.
Our team showed me these 2 Toyota race cars that drift autonomously.
The shifter moving by itself. The driver in there was just like, oh my God. So anyway, yeah, that was one of the things that he talked about at the press conference was how he's more accepting now. He thought autonomous vehicles were very boring. Well, obviously this isn't very boring. And so this next story kind of goes along. This was also announced at CES. And Nvidia announced that Toyota, as well as a couple of other folks, were joining them in rolling out their next generation of highly automated and autonomous vehicle fleets. So if you don't know, and I didn't until like a week ago, where I saw, I think it was on 60 Minutes, where they were talking to the CEO of Nvidia, who was basically an engineer. Now, I was an IT guy, and I thought Nvidia basically just make graphic cards, but it seems like now they are a huge company, multi-billion-dollar company in regards to artificial intelligence because of how speedy their graphics processors and their processors are. They're very well suited to doing artificial intelligence. And they've actually had this product called Nvidia Drive that has been working on autonomous vehicles for a while. So it seems like Toyota is really going full out in regards to autonomous vehicles and trying to, with this new Woven City, trying to investigate new technology and how to use it. So yeah, a lot of really exciting stuff here for Toyota. In our next story, Toyota released just today that they're coming out with a brand new Prius trim. It's called the NightShade Gray. And so, yeah, seems like a lot of vehicle manufacturers are coming out with their dark theme or their black theme or whatever that is. And so now a Prius, yeah, what used to be the most boring vehicle out there, And it's kind of changed a little bit in the recent future with their new body design, which is really cool, and their increased horsepower. So if you don't know, the Prius, really slow Prius, which isn't really slow anymore, it actually gets up to 196 horsepower and 152 pound-feet of torque. But what's really amazing is it gets 57 miles per gallon on, on that platform. And so the NightShade edition basically comes with 19-inch kind of blacked out rims, comes with blacked out handles, blacked out antenna, blacked out bumper, and blacked out emblem. So yeah, it looks really cool. And I've got to say the Prius shape now actually looks pretty darn exciting. Now, what's great about the Prius though is the entry-level version of the Prius is actually under $30,000. And so if we look at pricing right here, so the base Prius LE starts at $28,350. And so that's just fantastic. Now, you are going to pay a premium for the NightShade edition, which is starts at $33,895. But that's all, with all-wheel drive. And I think there's quite a few dealers charging above list price on these Priuses, and I understand they're pretty hard to get. And with this, with the new shape of the Prius, with the additional horsepower, and now with this special NightShade edition, and under $30,000, I can certainly see why. And in our last story, this is about kind of Toyota's strategy in regards to staying away from wholeheartedly going into battery electric vehicles. So auto manufacturers basically have to come up with an average mile per gallon in their entire fleet of vehicles. And if they don't meet that requirement, I think it's called the CAFE standards, if they don't meet that requirement, they are then required to basically pay a penalty for not meeting that requirement. Well, so, of course, Tesla, they have all EVs, right? So they actually have extra credits that they could give away. And Toyota and a number of other manufacturers kind of work with Tesla in pooling all of their credits with Tesla's credits so they don't have to pay a penalty. And so yeah, Toyota is doing this again. And one of the reasons why they're doing this, now this actually has to do with EU emissions, which have gotten stricter over the last year. We don't really know what's going to happen with our standards with the new administration coming in. They might lessen those regulations just a little bit, but it's kind of tough to go back and forth as different administrations come into office for those standards to shift. So I think automakers are really trying as much as possible just to, to stay in line with the current standards. So when a new administration does come in, that they're still in line with that. But needless to say, yeah, Tesla is taking advantage of all their EV vehicles, and they're, probably getting a lot of money by selling off their emission credits to other manufacturers. And they're in combination doing that with Stellantis, Ford, Subaru, and Mazda are pooling their credits with Tesla's. So this is Daryl with your Toyota news, and I hope to see you in the next video again very soon.